There's an urgent need for foster homes, especially for infants, sibling groups, and teenagers in Clark County.
And now is your chance to make a significant impact on the lives of these youth in our community.
Starting on January 20th from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., Clark County is offering an exclusive 2-week expedited training program. It will be tailored for families aspiring to become foster caregivers. Ready to take the first step? Simply sign up for an information session to enroll in this accelerated 2-week training. You can find session dates and dive deeper into this life-changing program at clarkcountyfostercare.com.
And last month, the Department of Family Services Director spoke to me in person about their incredible need for foster care parents. Have a look. Today I'm at the Clark County government offices to meet with Jill Morano from Family Services to discuss and find out more about their need right now for foster parents in the community. Tell me about Family Services and the role you guys play in the community.
So, we do a variety of things in family services. First and foremost, we need to make sure that children are safe. And our main goal is to make sure that children are safe in their homes. When they can't be maintained safely in their homes, the children have to enter foster care.
So talking about foster care, what is the need right now for people to enter into the program or to sign up for foster care? Is there a large need? Is it something that's always ongoing? What's the current circumstance?
Yeah, the need for more foster parents is an ongoing need, but it is particularly important right now. We really are at a crisis point with the number of foster homes that we have.
Why are we hitting that point right now? What has happened or what has transpired for that to culminate in this effect?
That's a really good question, and we've been trying to look at that and figure it out. And yeah, there's currently around 3,000 children in foster care, and we only have 333 as of today foster homes. So we estimate that we need around 700 foster homes to adequately meet the needs of all children in foster care. And even beyond that, what's really heartbreaking for us to see is that we have 105 children today in our emergency shelter because we don't have enough foster homes. As we came out of the COVID phase and re-entered real life again, we found that people were not as interested in becoming foster parents anymore. People were, ready to travel again and get out there and didn't have the time that they needed to be able to become foster parents. The other thing is with the economy and with what the reimbursement was for foster parenting, people couldn't afford to do it. Since then, the legislature has increased the rates for foster parents, so there has been a 25% increase in the rate for people to become foster parents. And I think because things are kind of settling back down, we really are hoping that now is a good time to start getting the word out about the need.
So with that need, the requirement is improved. And like you said, there's an urgency with the need for foster families and foster situations. What is the role that a foster parent plays? What's the importance of their role, and what does it encompass?
The role of a foster parent is really just to treat every child in foster care like they're your own. You make sure that they get up and go to school on time. You make sure that they've got their meals. You make sure they're getting to fun and social activities. So one of the most important things that foster parents do is support reunification with the biological family. So that often looks like things like going to court, taking children to visitation, participating with visitation, working with a biological parent so that they understand what the child's needs are.
Who can sign up to be a foster parent? Do you need specific requirements? Can anyone do it? What are we looking for?
Yeah, no, that's a good question because there are a lot more people that are able to be foster parents than I think people often think. You don't have to own your own home. You can rent. You can live in an apartment. You can be a married couple. You can be a single person. Or you can be a same-gendered couple. It is very wide. You have to be over 21. You have to pass a background check, complete our training, and complete a home study.
But there are many different needs in foster parenting, right? There's a wide scope of foster children looking for families.
Yes, we have children as young as 5 days old up to the day before their 18th birthday that are in need of foster placements. So people can also think about the type of children that would match their family best, that would work best with them. So you can, single children, sibling groups, we have a big need for people that are able to take sibling groups. We hate to have to separate siblings when they come into care.
The kids obviously benefit from having stability in their lives because there's obviously been a lot of upheaval because otherwise they wouldn't be looking in the foster program.
Yes.
How how does this affect the kids? I mean, there must be great stories about the positive impact that kids have had from being in a foster family.
I think some of the best things that we hear is when foster families can really befriend the biological family. Like you become that stable aunt or uncle or that person that a family can go to when they're struggling. And you see the lifelong connections happen for children. Sometimes the foster parent will end up adopting the child if that's an issue. But also, even when reunification happens, those families really become a resource for the biological family, and they end up, walking children down the aisle, coming to college graduations. These are long-term commitments that people are making.
There's so many good things you just mentioned there. From your point of view, Jill, working within the Family Services Department, what's one of the most rewarding parts or the best parts of the job that you love and that gives you most reward and enjoyment?
I think definitely seeing children succeed and knowing that you had a role in helping a child overcome their trauma, that you helped a family get to the point that they needed to be at so that they could safely parent their children. It's very rewarding to see that happen.
What would be one thing that you would cite to a potential foster parent as to why they should take that leap? If they're hesitant or if they're not sure, what's one thing that, some encouragement or advice or a great anecdote or anything that you think would lead them to become that foster parent you're looking for?
I think it's one of the most meaningful things that you can do to positively impact another child and a whole nother family. And so just being willing to take that chance and to try it out, there's no harm in trying. There's no financial commitment that you have to make. Just come to an information and you can learn more about it and you can really see the impact that you can make on a family.
Fantastic. Jill, thank you for your time. For more information and to learn more about how you can help fill the urgent need for foster parents in Clark County, head to clarkcountyfostercare.com.